Hey everybody, it's Carrie and welcome back to another video. I don't know if you guys can tell, but slowly but surely my back shelf is getting like so full of plushies. It's to the point that when I first put those shelves up, I was pulling like plushies out of my boxes and everything and putting it on those back shelves. But now I'm having to like take down all my old plushies. I feel like most of the stuff on the back shelf is pretty dang new. Like you guys can see pattern test from like almost basically that way down. I've got like the lemur I just completed, Pikachu I just completed, Hedwig which I had completed before, Umbreon, Sonic, and then once you start moving more this way, you get into a lot of pattern test and a lot of dragons. I'm actually still working through pattern test right now. I have basically, I believe 2 more as of right now. Sometimes I sign up for pattern tests and then I kind of like blank on things and then I get the message and I'm like, did I actually sign up for something? I don't remember. Like, out one ear, you know. So besides that, I'm still working on finishing up a custom rose order. It's super pretty. Let me grab one of the roses and show you guys. So currently this is what we are looking like. I believe I have 14 in total, so I think I still have 8 more to do. I will show you guys the picture I was given. So this is actually somebody who has purchased from me. I believe it's been at this point 2 times in the past, and each time she purchases from me she gets ribbons, but we do something special with all of the ribbons she gets. So the last one I did like orange, bright orange, like fire orange for a play. I believe it was a Sherlock Holmes play. I want to say like Sherlock Holmes, Redbeard, something in that realm. The first time I know that we did something with stars. I can't remember the musical, but I basically got like little stars. I put them in the roses and everything, and then I did a star type of ribbon around it. This time I was contacted about doing roses for Mary Poppins. I was sent this photo, and let me see if I can pull it up really quickly and point it to you guys so you can see. I was sent this photo from their play, and I was basically asked, can I do a navy rose with red trim? And so that's basically what I did. We have this navy base and then red trim around the edges, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'll put the white ribbon around it. And then actually what this person does is she has, I believe, like patches or something that she sews onto the leaves, so then at the end of the day, once these people like graduate like, you know, senior year high school, they will essentially have a bouquet full of roses from all of the musicals, plays that they have done, which I think is super cool. It is like the most unique order I get because it just has like such a, like, I can imagine myself being like a theater kid and that would probably be the coolest thing ever. She's the only one I have that does this, but I mean, I just love it. Like everybody I tell about it, they all just love the idea of it, and I'm like, I get 0 credit. She contacted me and was like, hey, can we do this? And then each time she contacts me, we just keep like upping it, and then she sends me just photos and I try my best to match and create what she wants. So super cool. That's like my big custom order I have right now. I've mainly been doing pattern tests. I do have a few customs, like I have a black horse I need to do, I have a dog that I need to do. They're not on technically set things. And then I also need to see about doing a crocodile snuggler. It's for a little girl, but every crocodile snuggler I've looked at has been so ugly. I don't know what it is. So if you guys happen to like know any crocodile snugglers that are kind of cute, or crocodile patterns that are cute, let me know, because it's gonna be white, but I just, all of them have been so ugly. And I like still want to keep the cute thing, especially since it's for a little girl. What I wanted to come on here is I'm trying to do some more short type of videos, and sadly I did not crochet a lot this week. Now let me clarify this. I did crochet a lot, but I was doing a lot of testers. I am planning at the end of the month, it is the 26th and everything, so I'm planning at the end of the month to do this like huge video where I'm gonna go over all of the pattern tests I did in January, because I think last year I was accepted to like 1 pattern test, maybe 2. So I don't really do pattern tests that much, but this past month I think I did 7 to 8. So at the end of this month, in a couple days, because I think I can get 1 more done by the end of the month, I'm gonna do a big video where I'm gonna talk to you guys about the patterns that I tested, show you guys all of the patterns, and then as well if the patterns are like actually on say Etsy or website, I'll link it so you guys can purchase them. But I didn't get to crochet a lot of market stuff because my mornings have basically been spent, I do like roses in the mornings, and then in the afternoons I move on to pattern testing. So I haven't been able to do a lot of small market items. It's okay, I keep telling myself I don't think my first event's till like April, and since I didn't get into MomoCon, I'm looking at potentially doing a 2-day market, but 2 days is not as scary as like 4 days, and then I'm taking June and July off. Now I do have a really special project going on that I am working on sealing the deal. I actually have created a group on like Instagram, like a close friends thing. So if you guys aren't following me on Instagram, you're missing out a lot, because I made a poll on my story and asked like, hey, who wants to be in this like group, and you get to see all of this exclusive stuff on my secret project. And so a lot of people wanted to join it, so I made this group. So right now they're helping me with like names, all that. I don't want to spill too much, all that stuff, so they get to have like an early access over there. But I have just been really busy with like that type of stuff recently. One of the things that I get asked a little bit about is some of the items that I use, and I am going to try and set up like the Amazon storefront for some of them because I feel like it's a lot easier. Like my safety eyes, I like to use a really particular brand, so I'm gonna figure out if I can like find them on Amazon, because that's where I buy them, and link them for you guys, because I found that the brand that I use for safety eyes has like the better backings and they're longer, versus some of the safety eyes I've used to have like, I don't even know, like short backings. Like they just don't stick that well. Like anytime I put safety eyes in a item, I always like pull it and see if I can rip it out. So I found that this one particular brand has been pretty solid. I wanted to go over all of the crochet hooks that I usually use. I have been through a couple brands, but I have kind of solidified one brand in particular that I do enjoy using the most, that I have the most hooks of. They're not all up here because they're kind of spaced out between my workplaces, but I do have my little spinny thing over here that I'm going to show you guys, the ones that I started out with. These are all of my extra hooks, and with a few more, like I've got some kind of scattered out, and I use these hooks, and I've kept these hooks even though I don't particularly use them that much anymore, basically as backup, like if I'm in a pinch and I need a hook. And then 2, I typically will bring 1 or 2 crochet hooks to every single market I do, because of the fact that I do individually tag all of my items. I like to use the crochet hook to like put it through and then pull the yarn through. So I do think it's really good to always bring crochet hooks to market. So I always have extras, and like I said, I have broken a few crochet hooks over time. So I also like to have backups just in case if I break anything. So I believe when I first started out, look at this, guys. I got this mat. Have you ever seen me use anything like this? Like, I think I was starting out and I bought this hook, and it's a 9. I don't think I've ever crocheted a 9 like anything before. So when I first started out, I got this, and then I moved onto these simple type ones, and I actually used just these basic ones for a really long time, but I have really tight tension and I like really brace down. So I started having a lot of pain from using these hooks just because of how thin they were. Like I was like death gripping the crochet hook. I ended up upgrading from that to these plastic ones that I used to use a ton, and I used these for a while, but I did find that when I crocheted with these hooks, and I think you can get these from Michael's, but I did find when I crocheted with these hooks that my tension was a lot looser, and I had a lot of problems with particular yarns. I found that some yarns were a little stiffer and there was more squeaking than I have ever experienced with a metal crochet hook. I used these for a while, but I did like the fact that it was a thicker handle, because I didn't like death grip it as much, but it definitely made my tension looser, and I don't know if that was actually because of the fact that like it's it's so thick and it's plastic, and it was so like squeaky and like stiff on everything that I just didn't like really try. I was just trying to avoid like the stiffness, but I did use these for quite a while. Some honorable mentions that I have, I believe these are both clover hooks. So somebody actually got me this clover hook, and I have used it a few times. It's not necessarily my go-to, but it is still really good. And I find that if I'm working with a yarn that is like super squeaky and rough, I do usually use this one because it seems to glide better with a stiffer yarn, especially when I compare it to like the hooks that I typically use. And then this one, I don't really know. I got this myself, but I don't know if I've used it that much because it's kind of like so short that I don't like the fact that when I crochet, it hits me, I don't know, like right in the ball hand thing because I do crochet for so long sometimes that I do tend to get like my hands cut up or bruised from crocheting. So I definitely prefer a longer like the body part of the hook, I don't even know what to call it, opposed to a shorter. So I've used this one like once, but I have used this one multiple times, particularly with like stiff yarn. I do know there's a ton of people who absolutely live and die by clover hooks. Now to show you guys my personal favorite, I have these up here and I have more downstairs. I have all of these guys, and I'm not 100% certain on the name of this brand. I don't see it anywhere, but I do know it is from Hobby Lobby, and I think the only place you can buy them is Hobby Lobby. I'm not the biggest Hobby Lobby fan. I really only go to Hobby Lobby to buy like acrylic yarn just because their I Love This yarn to me is superior in acrylic yarn, and these hooks. So the last time I went, I have about, I think 4 downstairs because I also crochet downstairs during the morning. The last time I went ahead and I picked up like 3 to 4 each of the 4, 4.5, and 5. Those are particularly the sizes that I use the most. I do have a 3 and a 3.5 as well that I use when I'm doing like flower work and stuff, but this is usually my go-to hook. Now I have broken a couple of these, but I will give it the benefit of the fact that I think that was mainly because I just crochet so much and for so long. I think the one I had, like literally it was like falling apart, like this one, and I just was crocheting and I think like whatever holds it just ripped or broke, and so I ended up super gluing it for a long time, and then finally the super glue just like wouldn't hold on anymore. This is definitely my go-to brand. It's not expensive at all. I think if you have a Hobby Lobby, you can give it a shot. I like the handle, I like the metal, so this is definitely my go-to brand, and it's from Hobby Lobby. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, seeing what I use to crochet with. I mean, so much fun, right guys? I mean, who wouldn't want to talk about crochet hooks? And I know there's also lots of fun crochet hooks out there. People do all types of resin work with them. I just don't really have any of those hooks because I don't really feel like the need to go buy any of those type of ones, but I have seen some really cute ones. And if you have like a special one, let me know, because I always wonder how much harder it makes crocheting because a lot of those are so thick. I always wonder about that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!